Cashed in for clients yesterday with a winner on the Detroit-Toronto over the total selection. 15 runs scored by the Blue Jays. This offense just continues to be Major League Baseball's best. Talked about the baseline totals for Toronto now being set at 9.5. That's exactly what we see today. Once again, we see a 9.5 number. Early on, there wasn't much movement in it. Now we see bettors gravitating toward the over as we get a little closer towards game time here. The Tigers and Blue Jays made their way back to 9.5. Pick 'em here. Some places 9.5 over -15. We'll see where it goes from there. It's Alfredo Simon against Mark Burley here today. I think you can understand the bettor's enthusiasm if you're playing over in this one. Detroit absolutely mashes left-handed pitching. 285 batting average, second best in the major leagues too. The previously mentioned Toronto Blue Jays, 353 on base percentage, second best too. The Toronto Blue Jays, 459 slugging, 812 OPS. Detroit with Miguel Cabrera in the lineup against Mark Burley here today should perform very well from the offensive side. Burley was on a real good roll for a while and still pitching fairly good, but I think it's a little bit concerning that he's allowed 6 home runs in his last 31 innings. His ERA over his last 5 starts is up to 4.94. With Detroit's ability to hit left-handers, I think Burley could be in a little bit of trouble here. You also have to take into account, and there's a lot of these situations today where we have over-type umpires, but in the Detroit-Toronto game, Bob Davidson, who's called 24 games behind the plate so far this season and recorded 16 overs for a 67% rate on the over. 9.5 runs scored on average in his games. Calls about 64.5% strikes. That's a pretty decent number. Not overly, not a huge number of strikes for an umpire. Hasn't hit that 65 or better percent range. But he has called an awful lot of overs this year, which should help both of these offenses. You take the other side of the coin here, Toronto's offense against Alfredo Simon. I don't think there's any question the advantage goes firmly to Toronto. They've changed their lineup a little bit today by putting Ben Revere to the top. These lineups are already posted. Ben Revere is going to precede the 4 thumpers in the lineup today, and then hitting 6th will be Russell Martin, 1 through 6. Obviously extremely scary for Alfredo Simon. A hittable pitcher. He's only struck out 11 in his last 30 2/3. We know the Detroit bullpen is not very good. Toronto's has come around. It's been pieced together fairly well, but still a hittable bullpen. I think this game has no trouble getting over the 9.5 runs here. Could agree with bettors who are starting to find their way towards that number. I think this one once again gets up and over 9.5. Don't have much of a read on the side, only because Detroit can be so scary against left-handed starters. We'll go ahead and look at it from an over perspective here today, taking Toronto and Detroit. Small play on them, up and over the total. As far as the side is concerned, bettors seem to really love Detroit against the lefty here. Burley open -270. He's down as low as -205 right now in some places. So a monstrous move on the Tigers here. Like I say, their offense against left-handers is very, very scary. And Burley lately with the long ball and with the higher ERA kind of feeds into that. So we'll see how this one goes. I like it over. Bettors really love it on the Detroit side.